I'm not entirely sure if he's going to join. If not, I mean, I can always send the video to them afterwards. Wait, hold on. Just everyone switch over to Cobra. Actually, let me see if there's a serve version for free for all.
I spent.
Slayer.
Old school
This is a
simplicity.
new one.
More kills, more better. Power weapon inbound.
I have to have my I have to have my sandwich before we get started.
Power weapon available.
There you go.
They're gonna kill me, monkey.
Power weapon inbound.
Okay, so everyone,
weapon
please
available.
include your audio.
Already done.
Awesome. Okay, so today marks the first official meeting of the Reclamation. I know not everyone could make it here, so we will indeed be recording this, and it will be posted so that they can officially see what we went over today. As you all know, there's a lot of ditties in the community that need exposing.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal of the Reclamation is to make the community a much safer place, not just for children, but for everyone. So we all know the gaming community has the potential to inspire creativity, collaborations. It connects people worldwide, but harmful behaviors such as pedophilia, toxicity, trolling, swatting, DDoS attacks, offline booting or kicking, and personal attacks, it undermines the potential of what this community can be. So the Reclamation, we are going to be committed to addressing these issues, and through this direct action, long-term initiatives and collaboration with local authorities. This plan will outline the strategies that we are going to use to reform the gaming community. So with step 1, we will expose the predatory behavior. We will also develop materials that explains the grooming tactics that the people on gaming platforms try to use to groom minors. We will then host some type of educational video for young gamers and to be able to educate them and their parents on online safety practices.
Power weapon inbound.
We will report any illegal action immediately with collaboration with local law enforcement.
Power weapon available.
We are going to have people who are going to volunteer to take the content that is found and report them to their local branches closest to where the person is. Creating awareness campaigns. For instance, the videos that we will put on the YouTube channel. We will share real life stories of people who have been groomed, people who have been wronged by these sick people, for lack of better terms. We will have terms to collaborate with the gaming platforms, with Microsoft, PlayStation, Nintendo, however far we end up taking this. Communicate directly with the trust and safety teams. In the short term, with 6 months, we will have the educational initiatives and we will work on reporting mechanisms, maybe through forms or I can't remember that Google, I think it was Google Forms. That might be a good way to be able to do so. Any questions so far on that?
BRB.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. What's up, Shadow? You can leave the party.
Leave the party.
Leave the party.
Leave the party, Shadow.
No.
Now.
Leave the party,
Yeah.
shut.
Picking him is the thing. I mean, the party is unjoinable, so.
I just put it on invite only and I kicked him.
Like,
Okay.
that was hilarious. I ain't gonna hold it.
For real.
Yeah.
So the next thing is how are we going to tackle toxicity? Well, first, we will work with the platforms and look at their rules against toxic behavior and see what they define as toxic behavior. We will then implement constant penalties for violations within the community. This will range anywhere from warnings to literal blacklists or sanctions. We will make creative videos to be able to show what is going to be expected. With long-term goals.
PTS.
Go ahead.
You know when you brought up sanctions, like how exactly are we going to be sanctioning them?
So with the sanctions, it will be more of all of the groups that are working with each other. We will give each other all active engagement where we will continuously have events with each other, inviting other groups in and constantly exclude the groups that are known to cause those issues. And we will constantly be promoting those groups as the undesirable kind of groups.
Alright.
And then we have the severe trolling. We will have to create clear definitions and examples of the trolling behaviors for better understanding. A lot of people sit there and think that, oh, Fotis is 100% against trolling or so, or I can't even do this or that. That's not the case. There is such thing as harmless trolling, and then there is pushing it too far. We will then make sure that everyone is held accountable for what they do. We will publicize all the actions taken against severe trolling to deter future incidents. This means that when we make an expose video, it is going to be promoted through means of campaigns on YouTube, Facebook, X, etc. We will have to monitor and publish any of the annual reports that we get. So if we are having campaigns put out there and people are reporting, and then the reporting is getting less and less after, we'll say 6 months, because so many people are being exposed for what they're doing, and they end up maybe having a change of heart, then that will show that what we're doing is effective. We know that swatting is illegal, and people unfortunately use that as a means to be able to quote unquote troll people. We need to be able to show people the actual dangers of being swatted and the legal consequences.
PTS.
Go ahead.
I had. No apologies can back me up on this. There was a gentleman that I knew that was associated with the wolf community that had threatened to swap me over my association with Thomas.
Yeah,
his
I
name was
would rather
Fear.
speak for that. Yeah,
His
uh,
name was
he was one of
Fear,
my people.
and he used his position to get my ID, to access my personal information, and to then threaten to dox and swap me. So that kind of thing is something that we should also look out for as well as malicious um, intent.
I also want to speak for Wolf Legion. We're not all like that. That's why Fear was booted out of Wolf Legion, because he took advantage of the fact that we go around exposing predators and the power we had, and he abused it. Not all of us are like that, and that's why he's gone, and he's not coming back. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
And since
Okay.
then, the Fear has disappeared from the community as far as I know.
So far, Wolf Legion, we've been doing the right things. So again, I will apologize on Wolf Legion's behalf for having him in our group, but he's gone.
So when it comes to swatting, I will be expecting people to, again, work along with authorities to be able to identify swatting techniques and such, to be able to know if someone is trying to do that to you, or to be able to even educate some officers even on the type of things that are being said or done to initiate a swatting. So with that, we'll collaborate with the local government, and we will see what laws and jurisdiction they have for swatting across regions. Within the short term, 12 months, we will focus on awareness, and we will help people to be able to be safer online. Within the long term, 5+ years, we will evaluate policies and track progress. Obviously, we cannot stop DDoS attacks or booting and kicking, but we can do our best to combat it. So with community reporting, we will educate players on recognizing and documenting the DDoS attacks. We will ensure that platforms prioritize investigating and addressing these incidents. We will report verified DDoS cases to the Cybercrimes Unit for investigation. advocate for strict legal action against the perpetrators. We will create videos explaining the impact of DDoS attacks on gamers and communities. We will highlight cases where offenders face real legal repercussions. Within the long term of DDoS attacks, we will support international cooperation to combat DDoS attacks more effectively. And we will regularly review and improve preventative measures based on emerging technologies. Any questions so far?
Yes. What is to stop people from using the police to get away with their actions? There's one gentleman I can think of in particular that's been doing that for years, despite numerous people reporting him, even telling his mother the things that he's been doing, and he's still getting
Dang
away.
on.
The police refuse to do anything about it. What
Then
do
we
we
put it.
do in those scenarios, despite
So,
extensive times, many times reporting him to the police? Still getting away.
that
He's
is
still on the streets.
that is why you have to go to places like the FBI or the cybercrimes division of the nearest largest city to that person. A lot of small towns do not have a cybercrimes division to be able to look into those kind of reports. And unfortunately, that means in the small towns that a lot of people can get away with that kind of thing until it is reported on a bigger level. So,
Sorry.
go ahead.
I personally think that, I mean, yeah, we go to FBI and stuff like that. Well, you know, I'll go to the police, I'll work with them, but sometimes you just take the matters in your own hands.
In some instances, in some cases, I can agree with that. That is why we are going to have these videos and stuff to be able to fully expose every single person we come by that harms children in any way. And some people that do abuse network manipulation and all that kind of stuff, I mean, the way I say it, you reap what you sow. That's all I'm going to say about that matter.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of network manipulation too much. I mean, if it's against a deity, I really wouldn't care personally, but that's just me. But I mean, other than that, I mean, yeah, no, none of that stuff.
So now going into the actual detail behind the points that I had mentioned. So with addressing the predatory behavior in gaming, that is one of the most alarming issues plaguing the gaming community, particularly the grooming and exploitation of minors. Gaming platforms, often designed for entertainment and connection, can be misused as tools by predators to exploit vulnerable individuals. These predators exploit the children and, unfortunately, the accessibility of the online spaces, manipulating the trust of the victims into inappropriate or harmful situations. To counteract this, the Reclamation's first priority is to build widespread awareness on these tactics. Educational materials tailored for parents, young gamers, and educators will identify warning signs, such as requests to move conversations to private platforms or offers in-game items in exchange for personal information. These resources will be distributed on gaming platforms, community forums, and social media channels to reach as many people as possible. Beyond awareness, direct action is critical. The Reclamation will establish a secure, anonymous reporting system where individuals can provide evidence of predatory behavior. This system will ensure that the victims or witnesses feel safe coming forward, knowing their information will be handled with care. Once reports are validated, they will be escalated to the local authorities equipped with to be able to investigate and prosecute offenders. In addition, Collaboration with law enforcement will enable us to create educational seminars for officers, enhancing their understanding of online grooming and the unique challenges of gaming platforms. Public campaigns will further amplify our efforts. By sharing the stories of people who have bravely come forward, we aim to get rid of all of such actions. Videos featuring law enforcement officials discussing successful interventions will be highlighted, and it will show the importance of community involvement in combating predatory behavior. Over the long term, the Reclamation seeks to implement universal reporting protocols and advocate for stronger international agreements to protect minors in digital spaces. These initiatives will be evaluated annually, ensuring their effectiveness and adapting to emerging threats. While this issue of predatory behavior in gaming is complex, it's not impossible. Through education, reporting mechanisms, legal collaboration, and public awareness, the Reclamation is determined to make the gaming spaces safer for everyone, especially for the vulnerable population. This effort represents a commitment to protecting the most at-risk members of our community and restoring the trust within the gaming world. Questions or comments so far?
Mm. I was one of those kids. I just want to point that out to everybody. Was preyed upon by people in the St. Healy community, Mandos. So, also personal. But yeah, go on.
So next, with combating the toxicity in the gaming communities. We all know that toxicity is one of the most I can't speak today. Pervasive issues in the gaming community, turning what should be a space for collaboration and enjoyment into a hostile and demoralizing environment. Toxic behaviors such as verbal abuse, slurs, aggressive hostility, it all damages player morale. It discourages participation and contribute to a culture of exclusion. To combat this, we will work closely with gaming platforms to establish a clear behavioral guideline that promotes respect and inclusivity. These rules will be visible, easy to understand, and enforced consistently. Penalties for violations will range from temporary suspensions to permanent bans for repeat offenders. We will reinforce the importance of maintaining a healthy game environment. Education, it does play a crucial role for changing toxic behavior. The Reclamation will host workshops and webinars aimed at helping players understand the psychological and emotional impact of their words and actions. Topics will include conflict resolution, effective communication, and managing frustration during competitive gameplay. Addressing the root causes of toxicity, such as stress, insecurity, and the lack of accountability, we will help players build healthier habits. These educational efforts will be supplemented by partnerships with psychologists who will provide insights on the dynamics of online interactions and offer strategies. Awareness campaigns will be integral to our approach. Video content will showcase the experiences of players who have been affected by toxicity, offering a personal perspectives on how it impacts mental health, the overall gaming experience. Testimonials from reformed players who have overcome toxic tendencies will highlight the possibility of change. By amplifying these stories, the Reclamation aims to inspire empathy and encourage others to rethink their behavior. A lot of people here have often wondered why I would allow people who have wronged me to still be part of the Reclamation, who sat there trolling severely. And it's because I believe people can change. And one of those examples actually in here is indeed Wolfologies. Once upon a time, Wolfologies and I absolutely hated each other. But that still did not stop me from trying to help Wolfologies out. I was able to talk to them and eventually learn some of the root causes to what was causing them to act the way they did, and we talked about it. And now Apologies is a friend. So with our long-term goal is to be able to create a culture of mutual respect and accountability within the gaming community. This will require ongoing collaboration with platforms to refine policies and enforcement mechanisms based on community feedback and emerging trends. Regular surveys and data collection will help us assess the effectiveness of our initiatives and identify areas for improvement. It is definitely going to be challenging, but it is essential. If we combine the education, the awareness, and enforcement, the Reclamation is committed to transforming the gaming space to where players feel valued and respected. Yes, there are going to be basic trash talk and all that. I mean, that's been around since the beginning of gaming, and that's understandable. But there comes a time where it's going to be where there's a line that should not be crossed, and unfortunately, a lot of people still cross those lines. Trolling is often dismissed as harmless mischief, and it has grown into a serious problem that undermines the trust and inclusivity within the gaming community. While some trolls engage in minor pranks, which is okay, severe trolling can escalate to targeted harassment, spreading misinformation, and emotionally distressing behavior. So with the Reclamation, we will aim to refine how trolling is perceived and addressed. To counter the trolling, the Reclamation will introduce a big reporting system that will allow the community members to flag incidents anonymously. The tools will include features for documenting evidence such as screenshots, recorded gameplay, or even video, ensuring that trolls can be held accountable. For repeat offenders, we will have platforms that will implement escalating consequences, including warnings, temporary suspensions, and permanent bans for severe cases. I will be getting in contact with Phil Spencer and other people on Xbox to be able to get this system going. And eventually we'll be also going over to PlayStation as well.
Yeah, PTS.
Go ahead.
Um, you know, you know what? As Halo is now also on PC, shouldn't people that has PlayStation and Nintendo be focused on that as well? Since Halo is also about to go on to PlayStation and Nintendo as well. Like maybe not this year, but most likely next year. But yeah.
It'll happen eventually, I'm sure.
Nintendo, that's a new one. I know about that one.
So with swatting, that is the act of making a false emergency call to dispatch heavily armed law enforcement to an unsuspecting victim's location. This is one of the most dangerous behaviors within the gaming community. This malicious practice endangers lives, wastes critical resources, and leaves victims traumatized. The Reclamation views swatting not only as a criminal act, but also an abuse of gaming culture. To combat this, we will begin with educating players and the communities on the severity of swatting. Campaigns will include video content explaining the consequences for both victims and perpetrators, featuring interviews with law enforcement officials and testimonials from survivors of swatting incidents. Partnering with local authorities will be essential to prevent and respond to swatting. The Reclamation will work directly with law enforcement agencies to develop training programs that offers and helps officers recognize the signs of swatting and respond safely to potential false alarms. This includes advocating for improved caller verification systems to identify fraudulent calls before they escalate into a dangerous situation. By working closely with authorities, we aim to minimize the risk posed by swatting and ensure that victims are treated with care and understanding during investigations. The Reclamation will also address swatting at its root by promoting stricter laws and harsher penalties for offenders. So what we'll do with that is basically, you know how in your town, how you are able to propose a law to your local governor or so. So with that, what we could do is we could write into the local government. We can let them know, hey, this needs to be addressed. This is an issue. What law can we do about it? Give some suggestions and see where it can go from there. It may not make much of a difference right away, but eventually there's going to be such a high demand that it is going to make a change. So in the long term, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, continue your sentence.
In the long term, we will be able to advocate for the implementation of technology solutions, like advanced geolocation tools for emergency services that will quickly be able to verify the authenticity of emergency calls.
Also, I want to point out, like, I personally, like, Wolf Legion will be personally, be hosting, like, game nights for the Reclamation. You know, events with the Reclamation. Obviously, we're gonna schedule people, but, like, hosting game nights and stuff like that for everyone to hang out, or maybe even a community raid, like a Reclamation Council raid. You know what I mean? Everybody that's in the council, or every clan that's a part of it, they can be on the same team versus another same team of like two other groups. I don't know, just to build a camaraderie and stuff like that.
That'd be
I think
pretty
that'd
cool.
be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. At least, I mean, not even, it doesn't even have to be a raid. It could be a game night. I'm gonna be honest, I'm personally not into raids, but game nights,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome. Or maybe an AV8, like an AV8 ETV. Maybe have 4 different Reclamation clans and one team, you know what I mean, and another 4 another team or something. I don't know. It would just build a lot of camaraderie and make us stronger, even stronger than we already are. And
Indeed.
I also want to say for Bless My Plays, Plays, are you there?
Hello.
Plays is also offering for any clan leaders or any people that's in the Reclamation, whether if they're in the council or they're just they're inside of the clans that are in it. No matter what rank you are, if you are wanting to get better at the game, Bless My Plays is definitely one of the people that you should go to with that. You want me to? Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to say
Okay,
that. That's it.
that's fine. So next, with preventing DDoS attacks and booting. So everyone here pretty much knows what a DDoS attack is, where you get your internet service completely disrupted. This kind of experience targets individual players or servers, makes them basically unable to participate. These attacks are not only frustrating, but it's also intentional abuse of technological systems. The Reclamation will tackle this issue by focusing on empowering players with the knowledge, partnering with platforms to improve the response measures, and working with local authorities to prosecute offenders. This is not only something that is illegal, but it is also a federal crime. On the enforcement side, we partner with the gaming companies to enhance their monitoring and response capabilities. Platforms will be encouraged to develop a more sophisticated system for detecting and mitigating DDoS attacks in real time. These systems should include automated processes for identifying patterns of malicious activity and shutting down offending accounts. In addition, platforms must commit to transparent communication with affected players, ensuring they understand the steps being taken to address their complaints. Public awareness campaigns will underscore the harm caused by DDoS attacks and the offline booting. featuring interviews with victims and explanations from cybersecurity experts. These campaigns will highlight the long-term consequences for offenders, such as account bans, potential legal action. And by emphasizing the seriousness of the behavior, we can hope to deter would-be attackers from engaging in such activities. Over the long term, we will advocate for international cooperation to combat DDoS attacks, recognizing that these threats often cross national borders. These include lobbying for standardized penalties, enhanced cybersecurity measures across jurisdictions. Continuously evaluating the effectiveness of these initiatives, we aim to stay ahead of the emerging threat, ensuring the gaming community remains safe and secure. Any questions or comments so far on that?
No.
Okay. So next will be confronting personal attacks and false accusations. This is a big one within the gaming community. Personal attacks and false accusations are among the most damaging behaviors out there for the gaming community, often targeting individuals' reputations, mental health, and sense of belonging. These attacks can take many forms, from doxing and spreading malicious rumors to outright fabrications designed to harm someone's credibility. The Reclamation recognizes the profound impact of these behaviors, and we will be committed to providing resources and support and avenues for accountability. The first step in addressing personal attacks is to empower the victims with resources and tools to protect themselves. Educational materials will teach players how to safeguard their personal information online, reducing their vulnerability to doxing and forms of targeted harassment. The resources will also provide a guidance on documenting incidents and seeking help from trusted community leaders and legal authorities.
Permission to speak.
Go ahead.
But if you're a ditty or a degenerate, you're not gonna get any resources. I'm gonna get you. But yeah, go on.
To ensure transparency and fairness, the Reclamation will establish independent review teams to investigate claims of personal attacks and false accusations. These teams will be tasked with collecting and verifying evidence, ensuring that all parties involved are treated fairly. Once cases are resolved, offenders will face appropriate consequences, such as reporting to the proper departments of Xbox, PlayStation, etc., and seeing about their accounts being suspended or banned, while victims will have their names cleared publicly. Public campaigns will highlight the devastating impact of the personal attacks. Using testimonials from victims will raise awareness and empathy within the gaming community. These campaigns will also include messages from influencers and thought leaders who will emphasize the importance of trust, accountability, and kindness. Amplifying these voices, we hope to create a culture where personal attacks are universally condemned. With the long term, the Reclamation will work with gaming platforms to implement mandatory anti-harassment policies, provide regular training for moderators. These policies will be reviewed annually with the input from each community member to ensure they remain effective and relevant. Any questions or concerns or anything on that one?
No.
I might have to back out of the meeting.
All right, it's about to be at its conclusion here in a second.
Oh, okay. Alright then, I can stay a little bit then.
So the Reclamation is more than an initiative. It is a call to action for every gamer, developer, community leader who believes in the transformative power of gaming. With addressing most of these harmful behaviors within the community, from predatory actions, trolling, swatting, and false accusations, we can restore trust and safety to the gaming world. Most importantly, we can keep children safe. The path ahead will not be easy, but it is necessary. And with each step, we build a community that reflects the best of what gaming can offer. This is our mission, and this is the Reclamation.
Also, fun events. Hosting a
Yes,
lot of
fun
fun
events
events.
too.
That'd be really fun. Hosting nights. Having a little fun with degenerates that decide to